So I'm joined here by Swainger, who was actually invited by Keith himself to join From Granite to Wind. And I'm going to actually go back a bit and ask Al about his experiences of Keith at Dartington Summer School. Did you work with him, collaborate, were you a student?
Well, the first time I met Keith at Dartington to work with, the first time I met him actually was with the Devon Youth Jazz Orchestra in Exeter that he used to play with, and he organised a course then. And I think I was technically maybe one of the staff at that point, but I was deeply fascinated with his approach to just corralling people into really unfamiliar ideas at the time, because we'd only played pretty mainstream big band music. It was all the Basie and the classics, but we hadn't dealt with free music at all really at that point.
So he opened up a little door in your mind.
Well, kind of a bit, yeah. And we got on well anyway. And then I didn't see him again until my wife worked at Dartington Summer School for a while, and I went on one of the jazz courses there, and he was conducting half of that when I was first getting into double bass. And again, just what a personality to work with. Every session was very intense, incredibly hard work, but just so rewarding. And one of those people you just want to do well for.
And I understand that he used to like telling his stories afterwards in the pub, around the table. Yeah.
Yeah, lots of that.
A few Keith jokes.
Was a character, all immaculate in his waistcoat.
Yeah. We can all envisage him. And so then, when did you next kind of encounter him? When did he ask you to work with him?
The next time was for what they call the Southwest Music School. Lisa Tregale had asked me to come along as one of the staff to work with the students. James Gardner-Bateman was also on that one. And again, he'd been commissioned to write this piece, so we worked on that and he developed it during the week, and there was this great back and forth between what he'd written, what the students did, and each day he'd come back with revisions based on how they performed or what they seemed to be able to do.
Yeah.
I love that whole process.
Yeah.
And also spending a couple of hours each day just doing small group free improvisations, just 2, maybe 3 people at a time, collectively listening and working on giving critical response to it, positive critical response, so that you actually talked about what you were listening to, how people had listened, how they'd responded.
Yeah.
I think that was the time that really sort of properly set the light bulbs off for me. I want to do this, and I went home and I started up a free improvisation club of my own for a year.
Amazing. So he was a huge inspiration to you.
Yeah, absolutely. And that real key difference between free jazz and improvised music.
Yeah.
And that improvised music was so much more open.
Yeah.
I love that.
That's amazing. Yeah. Special, isn't it?
Yeah. So I'd only really worked with him in educational contexts up until then, but he phoned me after the course to say how much he'd enjoyed working together and really hoped we could do something again.
Yeah.
And that opportunity didn't really come round, but after we moved to Bristol, we sort of met up again and used to go around and have cups of tea and chat away, Keith and Julie, which was always lovely. And then, I was thrilled when he phoned to say, sadly, the existing membership was no longer able to do the pieces because he was so loyal to his groups, but would I mind filling in on that chair that was now available? So I think there were about maybe 3 gigs, 4 opportunities that kind of didn't work out for various reasons, and the last one being the day he died.
Did you get to rehearse with him?
No, it just never came about, unfortunately. And then when the news came through that he died, and also I sort of realised it was another day when we should have been performing that piece. I mean, I just cried for 2 days.
Incredibly sad. Incredibly sad. It hit
Such
so
a
many
loss.
people. Well, hopefully we can do his memory justice. Thank you, Al.
Okay.